develop on the last point about the goalkeeper. You said you want to develop your goalkeeping philosophy. What is a goalkeeping philosophy?
I'm not 100% sure. It's no, that's how it is. You don't have, or at least I don't have a philosophy before it gets started, pretty much. Look, nowadays, when I was a player, obviously, still the most important skill of a goal is to catch balls. So that's how it is. But from then on, it developed incredibly. So with the new rule, back pass, stuff like this, it's years ago, I know, but I was on the pitch when the first game happened. Couldn't pass the ball back anymore. It was like, what? And we could pass it back, but he had to use it with his feet. It was really tricky. So it's obviously a position which is getting more and more influential, and not only in the defensive moments, as well in the offensive moments. And you see that now, yes, a lot of goalies obviously have a pretty long, are really long when they're shooting the balls, which is good for some teams, good for each team actually. We use that from time to time as well. But it's much more about being involved as well in all the build-up situations. So as pretty much the third in between the center halves who you can give a ball without thinking, oh my God, what is he doing with it? So you should not play constantly channel balls, but switch from one side to the other or make the game quick and all these kind of things. We worked on that already. But so like when I was a player, the goalie coach was the head coach as well. So then you had a goalie coach. This was pretty much always the oldest, the goalie you had in your goal until he couldn't play anymore. Then he made that job, and we started now with two goalie coaches, which works really well with Jack, because it's just how we all are. We all have different ideas, and we mix that all up. And Johnny is an incredible. It's like a goalkeeping book. He's thinking about pretty much nothing else in goalkeeping, and I know then people criticize people when the goalie is not that good, whatever in the past. When we're not happy, then it's the goalie coach. But it's not about that. And now bring something completely different in, or a little bit different. I thought it makes really sense. And we really thought we need hands. We need more hands. For the goalkeepers, are really funny. That we have for the boys who are not involved at the weekend, that we can really work with them properly and consistently. And for that, you don't bring in just somebody that you have another goalkeeper coach. So we really thought somebody with a real own opinion as well. We want to have that. We want to challenge ourselves, and we want to improve the goalies. And we had to buy for big money the best goal in the world. So that should not happen now that often anymore, because we invest a lot in scouting in the youth, and I think with Reeve and Marcello, they are now both here, and Harvey, we have incredible talents, really incredible talents. But it cannot be only because we give them on loan and we hope that they are in good hands in another club and play games, that it will develop as good as we estimate. So that means maybe we can keep them a little longer here and just work different and more and these kind of things with the boys, that they can really make a career from here or wherever, while we are using them here, because that's the tricky stuff. Obviously, if you give a very talented boy on loan, then pretty always something happens. Now Adrian is injured in the moment, so Marcello is now number 3, a very young boy, so that's all fine, but we just want to make sure that we can make them, that we can help them to get a higher, not a guarantee maybe, but a much higher probability to have the best career they can have.
Excellent.
Paul, and then we go to Tom today.
Just a couple of questions if possible. How confident are you that you'll only lose Mo, Sadio and Naby after the Chelsea game for African Cup of Nations?
Okay. Who else could we lose?
You'll have them for the Chelsea game, and then they will be released for the tournament.
That's not decided yet, definitely. But who else could we lose? I would say I'm an optimistic person, so I hope so, but it's not written in stone yet. It's not completely in our hands, obviously. That's the problem with that. But of course, we hope. But confidence is maybe not the right word for it.
And just secondly, Andrew Robertson said that in the summer the coaches got together and thought about how the team can develop new offensive sort of patterns, and I was just wondering what that meeting is like and how it comes together, how you, as a group of coaches, come up with ideas to take the next step. What is it that can you give an insight into that process?
A process is a thought process. So it's about, and the thought process is based on the things you do on the pitch in the past. So pretty much what we able to do. That's how can we increase the probability to win a football game. So that's obviously the challenge for all of us. And that was the problem we had obviously last season. So I think we were in a good place in that season after winning the league before, with all the difficulties, no supporters, pandemic, all these kind of things. We're in a pretty good place, and then we lost important players for us. So, and could we have reacted better? I really don't know. Maybe yes. It's an easy answer. Maybe probably no. I don't know. That's not important anymore. The thing is, we just realized in that moment how much we reliant on specific things. And I know you mean now players, but we mean patterns. So it's like if you can change the players, even they have the specific skills they have, it's difficult to replace. But when you can still stick to your patterns, to your philosophy, if you want, then you're all right. But for us, it was not possible anymore. So we had to adapt things, and that's why we then over the year we realized in games, oh my God. So now we have that problem which we didn't have a week before. Now we have that problem which we didn't have. In the end, it's all about how you don't score anymore and you concede. But we have to work in between these two areas. And so when the season was over, we were quite positive about with the news that the players come back and we can build again on that. So brought Ibu in, which was really, really important, just to give us the security and stuff like this, that similar things cannot happen anymore. Kept Nate Phillips here, but not too cool for the boy, but he's fine with it. But and he proved even here like crazy, just to make sure that we can rely on this kind of spine. Going up from there, if you have that, if you are that protected, if you know that the things we do on the pitch have now a clear basis again. Now we have to think, how can you use that? And that was the thought process. And
so is it all of you in the room just throwing out ideas?
we are constantly in the preseason. We are constantly in a room. So pretty much, if you're not on a pitch, we are in one room. That's preseason. We had a long camp, 2 camps actually. We were really long on the road and had a lot of time to talk about it. And so it's clear the influence of Pep and Vitor in that is massive, because they are just brilliant football brains. Pete is as well constantly concerned about how to use the things we have with the analyzed team together. So we put some videos together. What did we do in the most positive moments, and what can we do even better? So that's how it happened. But it's now not, we didn't reinvent ourselves new. We just build on a basis. That's the good thing when you are longer together. So you don't have to make a lot of changes. So that's how it is. It's not as exciting as you want, and we are not there yet that we think, okay, that's how it should look exactly. So we are still trying to improve, but for the moment it worked in moments, and the players feel it. That's very helpful, the benefit of it. But in the end, because Robert probably spoke in these moments about the offensive part, you can only be offensively creative if you are perfectly protected, because otherwise it's I don't want to blame children, but it's in children's football. So like, oh my God, let's run there, and then you have nobody in the decisive area. So and that's a constant process to get that sorted, to keep that balance, and that's what we are. That's really, I don't think that will ever stop, to be honest, this process. That's about whatever you create up front, you need to be protected, because it's football and you can't expect that it will end up with a goal. That's it.
Final question, Don. Sorry, I'm just conscious we've got Don to finish with on the Zoom.
Hi again. It's a very simple one, really. Speaking of contract renewals, is there any update on Mo at the minute, or?
No.
No. Okay, it was worth asking.
Thank you very much.
You were waiting that long? with a tie, by the way, you can see it. He was
Do you like the tie? Do you like, yeah, have you, yeah?
No, I would like to be. What's the reason? What's the reason?
Oh, well, you know, sometimes it's a Friday afternoon and we like to dress up every now and again.
Casual Friday
Interesting.
from Don King.
Sorry, that was a quick. It was already follow up where you've got now. Then we can call
If
it.
it's all right to ask just one quick one. We mentioned Nat Phillips last week and again there. Is it too romantic for you to think he deserves to play against AC Milan because he?
I don't think it's about AC Milan, to be honest. But no, why I have to mention Nate Phillips is because I never ever. I think people ask me which player made the biggest improvement after under my leadership or whatever. I said Robert Lewandowski, and it's probably right, but not far off that is Nate Phillips. It's just a completely different department. But I remember when I saw Nate Phillips first, and after the game, it's one of the smartest players I ever had. Is you speak to him and think, you know, you're not easy on the eye. Yeah. No. He improved in pretty much everything, and it's not playing here. Life is sometimes not fair, and I can't believe that. But we cannot keep him forever. That's clear. But clear at the moment, we needed him obviously to be safe for that half year for sure. We'll see what happens in the winter, but we needed him here, and he was fine doing it because he's a great guy. But I have to make because the development is absolutely insane. Honestly, when you saw it last year, when you would have thought about Nate Phillips, you think, oh my God, he plays in the last line and stuff like this. The way he played is, yes, the people love him because of his heading, but he's with the feet. Meanwhile, it's unbelievable. So just a late starter, but from there on, it was absolutely insane. I would sign him for each club I would be about from Liverpool because we have him.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you.